Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Stef.
And I'm Elle.
And I'm Jay.
And this week's movie is Dracula 3D, aka Argento's Dracula.
Straight trash.
I had very few notes, but right off the bat, I was in the kitchen and I had the movie starting, and I was like, the theme music sounds suspiciously like the theme for Tales from the Crypt.
It was very theremin, you know what I mean? Like electronic.
Yep. And we start off on the wrong foot, the banging foot, like immediately, right out the gate. We got titties out. We got some awkward sex.
And that guy was married.
And
Milos is a trifling hoe.
Literally.
You know, you can't respect him even though he did pull a really hot bitch.
Defensively, it was probably slim pickings. Okay? Tanya probably had not a lot of options. I'm just saying. Bang it.
Considering that all these people are getting seduced by a guy that looks like he is a solicitor from the Midwest in his 50s. Yes, that Dracula. Slim pickings.
Yeah, he's not sexy.
I would bang Jonathan, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we had a little conversation about Jonathan. I said that he looked like a little lad who loves Panic at the Disco. He's very cute.
I mean, the guy trying his best to be Keanu Reeves and failing miserably.
No,
you know, I thought that too. He had Keanu vibes big time.
It's the wig.
Did he wear a wig?
It was definitely a wig. If that was his real hair, I feel so far sorry for that man.
This guy, that was definitely a wig. I was just trying to picture Keanu's hair. But anytime I picture him, I picture
John Wick.
You gotta watch Dangerous Liaisons. That is the Keanu that would work for this Jonathan Harker. I was actually kind of thinking him and then like Liam Neeson as Dracula. It would, you know, just Americanize this.
Liam Neeson as Dracula.
What era of Liam Neeson though? Taken?
I don't know. This guy is like a great value Liam Neeson. That's all I know.
From Taken.
I mean, Schindler's List Liam Neeson.
No.
Michael Collins Liam Neeson.
How do we feel about the CGI owl, guys?
Stop it right now. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. When I saw that shit, I said, whoa, what the fuck am I watching?
I was howling. I was laughing so hard. That was the stupidest looking owl I've seen.
I don't know if you're trying to like go in order of events, but the scene that had me absolutely shrieking, because all of these effects are weirdly smooth and hairless, right? They're very weird. So when Tanya was trying to eat Jonathan and Dracula was like, bitch, he's mine, and flung her, she was like this weird
ragdoll.
Smooth ragdoll thing, and I was like, no.
That's why it was in the shade, so that they were trying to like hide the fact that it's terrible CGI.
Can't hide it. It's so bad.
How I describe this is a 70s porn looking 2012 film set in the 1800s with CGI from 1998.
Period. She nailed it. Nail in the coffin.
That makes it timeless though, right?
No.
Trash. Straight trash.
It's boring. It's so goddamn boring. I was so bored. I'm so bored. I was so bored. They didn't even have any weird syphilis like Dracula 2007. You know what I mean? They didn't have anything interesting to set it apart.
And this whole film was almost 2 hours long.
Yes! It was excessively long.
Why? We know the shit already, okay? And hello? Way too long. I don't want to watch any Dracula where Lucy isn't like the most dazzling thing in it. First of all, she looked very much like Mina. They were like almost the same.
The bath scene with Lucy and Mina though.
No.
Yeah, I was like, really? Do we really gotta do this? It really felt like a 70s porn. All of the setups and the scenes and shit, and like it just...
And I
remembered it's Argento's Dracula.
Okay, but he didn't like trigger all of my sensory issues by bludgeoning me with sound in this movie, which was weird.
He did kill a child though.
He spent it all
on that CGI.
Said, let's try this.
I want to believe that the people that did the CGI on this one went on to work on the Mayfair Witches series because it lines the fuck up. It absolutely lines up. Same level of Nintendo 64 CGI, okay?
The more you say about it, the more I am convinced I made the right choice not to watch that shit.
Okay? Oh, you did. Absolutely. Now I'm in it, just like with the book. The problem with anything to do with Mayfair is like, it doesn't matter how terrible it is. Once you pop, you can't stop. It is cursed. You are in this for the rest of your life.
I'm only not stopping because I told you I would read it. We're in the podcast. We've already recorded too many episodes. That's the only reason. Because I would have been jumped ship halfway through these motherfucking files.
So Dracula. I could have forgive the owl, the wolf transformation, the Jedi flinging if it wasn't for that terrible train station background.
I I was offended. It's like I totally forgot about that stuff, but you're just triggering all of these painful memories.
Absolute trash.
You know
Actually,
what's also funny about the wolves that you bring the wolf transformation up is the actual wolves that they use look like puppies, and then as soon as the CGI comes in, it's gonna like tear your face off, but also like Mario Kart 64. So like
I did like that they referenced the first Dracula with the Children of the Night, what music they make, but this guy is not Bela Lugosi. He can't do it.
No, he's somebody's like grandpa.
Is he an Argento? Because I remember seeing someone,
no,
one of.
Asia Argento, the one who plays Mina, that's Argento's daughter. She is a very problematic person. She was also dating Anthony Bourdain, but just nothing can save this movie.
I love that we were so articulate about Knights of Badassdom, but we just got the ick from this film and can't really verbalize it.
And then like watching it at the same time as the Ginger Dead Man, like there's just not a lot of good things to be said all around.
It was a bad time. I was out of town, so I had to watch these back to back. I fucking hate my life right now, dude.
I was lazy, and that's why I had to watch them back to back. Like, can't recommend. These don't go together. I'm just trying to figure out what was the purpose of this movie being made. Like, what was Argento like? You know what I'm gonna do? Dracula.
Was it kind of like a nepotism thing? Because like his daughter is Mina. He wouldn't let her be nude like he did with the other two ladies in this film.
Yeah, titties were popping. That's one thing these movies had in common.
Yeah, the gore was okay. Although that on his face looks like red tempera paint, it kind of reminded me of more of like the 70s and 80s Italian horror films, like the gory stuff, like the squirting and all that stuff. That was okay. And I think that was practical. I just think that they should have fired the CGI guy and put him in jail. That's all I'm saying.
Bombastic sci-fi.
The physical props and stuff like that was good. Like him tearing at the neck and it like almost rubbery. The actual like mantis claw going through the guy's chest. That was
That thing.
yeah. There he is.
The mantis can hang. I like the mantis.
And
The
like
mantis was all right, CGI wise. Actually,
Mhm.
it was just like seeing a giant mantis. I was like, what the fuck?
But that's what I said, and as I told Ella earlier, because I had like gone to the bathroom or something, and I came back and it was this giant praying mantis, and I'm like, how did we get here? But I wasn't gonna rewind. So like, surprise, here we are.
The physical sets and locations were kind of good, though.
Yeah.
I like the exposed brick and like the cobbles everywhere. It just felt like it was the same stretch of street that they
Yeah.
filmed everything on.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing about this, and looking at Dario Argento's other movies, looking at other Draculas, I feel like the color palette was like really this kind of like vibrant. I noticed a lot of like really soft greens and creams. This one is very creamy. But my point with that is like a lot of the Dracula stuff, there was like an impressionism to it. It was always kind of like really sharp or like washed out or one or the other. The original like Nosferatu had all those angles to it. And there was a Dracula that we watched that was, I think the syphilis one Steph was talking about. This felt more like that one, which I believe, what is that, 2006? It was like a made for TV movie. And I mean, I just feel like Dario Argento is capable of so much more with his color palettes. Just saying.
Absolutely. But all around, because like you mentioned, he decided to go ham with the CGI for literally no reason. Like there were a million other creative ways that he could have gone about this and is capable of and has done before. So I just feel like that's why I'm so bored. If you're going to do a twist on a classic retelling, twist that shit.
Twist it, yeah.
Mhm.
I quite like the bugs and the flies when he becomes like a swarm
And
of
they-
flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you were saying, Elle. It's like every scene in this, whether it was like a dream sequence or like the interior shots, it all felt like it was like a washed out Instagram filter. And in my notes, I did write, I don't know about the rest of mainland Europe, but we don't have cockroaches in Ireland.
Oh,
So-
really?
So yeah, so I don't know if the cockroaches in Transylvania, I'm gonna guess this is.
I don't know what that's like. I'm a Florida baby. We have roaches. They just be here. I can't imagine a world without roaches.
We
don't
also
have
don't
them
have
up here.
mosquitoes.
Oh, you bitch.
That is illegal. That's not
Yeah.
fair. I will ship you
I'm
some mosquitoes.
offended. We're gonna send you a box of mosquitoes and roaches.
Please do not. Do not threaten to ruin Ireland's ecosystem. They will come for you.
The other
Um,
thing Steph and I were talking about, though, is all the old men look the same to me. I can't tell the old men apart. Renfield and fucking Van Helsing. And, like, there was another old man that was, like, the mayor and Lucy's dad
he's
or
get
something.
he's getting killed there.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, that could be Renfield. That could be Van Helsing. I don't fucking know. It's an
No.
old man. They all look the same.
And they
Yeah.
start jumping like flies whenever the plot no longer needs them.
Yeah. And they die so easy. Everyone dies so fucking easy. Like,
Highly
even the
dispensable.
vampire, she like made herself into a kebab on purpose. She walked right into the fucking sword.
I'm just like, why are you all here?
I kind of
You
feel
think-
like Tanya was tired of Dracula's old dick, and so she just went for it.
You know
I mean,
she
she was
was.
going for Jonathan.
Yeah,
I would.
she was trying to push up on him from dinner.
In that sense, this is very like a Midsummer Night's Dream, where all the characters are falling in love with the wrong person. So, like, Renfield loves Tanya. Tanya wants Jonathan, but Tanya also wants Dracula. Dracula wants Mina. Mina just wants her husband, and then she wants Lucy. And stuff.
At the end, I'm just gonna skip. I don't fucking care about the plot of this movie. Dracula says some poetry. You know, he is a poet. I have been snatched from darkness and sent to earth to plunder the blood of my people. The only way that I can still nourish this foul cadaver. I am nothing but an out of tune chord in the divine symphony. Where did that come from? Like, after the rest of this movie?
Yeah, they did like drop the whole "you are the reincarnation of my long dead love" 10 minutes before the end of the film. It was never
Right?
alluded to before.
And she was like, fuck that. Why did he want me to promise myself to him? That's fucking weird. Why did you try to make me say that, weirdo?
If you have to mesmerize her, are you really pulling the bitch?
Oh, it's very date rapey. I'm just saying. That's not love.
It's like a psychic roofie. What the fuck?
It's 100% that. I don't know. That's like the whole problem I have with the whole Twilight series. Every time someone brings up Team Edward, I'm like, didn't that motherfucker break and enter and watch her sleep? No, thank you.
Ew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in her bedroom and she's like, are you watching me sleep? Yeah, I do that sometimes. Fuck out of here. I rescind my invitation.
The scene where he slaughters like all the leaders of the town and just sits down at the head of the table and sets his hands down with all the bodies around him. I was like, are they trying to do like the Last Supper painting? Because that looks very reminiscent of Christ at the middle of the table surrounded by people. The priest. What knockoff Jack Black guy did they get for this?
Yeah, they should just remake this with A-list actors.
Yeah.
No, because then Chris Pratt would be playing the mantis.
No.
Doug Jones can play the mantis and Steph can have a crush on him. To our listeners, Steph just flipped me off.
It was a double too. Okay, that final struggle with Dracula and old man Van Helsing. I don't
So-
understand. The old man breaks one of the 4 stone butt plugs around his girlfriend's crypt and he just gets back up. Like, if an old man's body goes through a stone butt plug, he's dead.
Listen, I'm 32. If I fall down on the ground, it's gonna be a minute before I get back up, okay? I could hear his shit ricketing. They didn't WD-40 his joints.
Up until that point, Van Helsing has 2 dead bodies to his name already. Because he burns Lucy and just stands and watches it happen. And then the bald guy, what was his name? Z something?
I don't remember.
We're like,
I don't know. But he
Bald
just
guy.
grabs him by the throat after 2 seconds of a struggle and forces his head through a metal spike in the wall. What the fuck?
logistics don't matter in Argento's world. They don't
Nope.
matter. No.
Also, Van Helsing had some fucking sausage fingers.
I didn't look, but now I want to.
Well, didn't you see him rub his hands all over Mina's face at the end? I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is this old man trying to seduce her?
He
I'm just
They-
imagine what he smelled like.
It's a little known fact, but that is actually the acting debut of Charles III, who also has sausage fingers.
I'm tired.
Oh my god.
Tired.
Also, like a garlic bullet. A garlic bullet. Garlic is like the lowest form of things that can kill a Dracula, okay? The amount of garlic, you would have to have something bigger than a bullet, bro.
I feel like Dracula could literally take a Benadryl and it would just shoot the garlic back out of his body, right?
Right?
Like,
He's got the Hat Man on his crew at that point.
The only time that the CGI looked good in this is whenever at the end when he's ripping open his shirt, and in the shadow it actually looks good where his skin starts to dissolve
In the
rip.
shadow. In the
But then
and-
he lies down and we get a close up and it looks terrible.
I think
Yes.
he relied way too much on shadows to do the hard work. my guy. That's not okay.
Okay, the good CGI though, the wolf in the ashes at the end, that was metal as
The-
fuck. That was out of a
you mean
Man-O-War video. Come on.
you mean Voldemort?
You can have that
The-
one. I will take Tanya flying across the room with her gummy limbs.
I just think it
I
was
would.
very weird how possessive Dracula was over Jonathan anyway. Like,
It was super homo, and I kind of was here for it.
you know, I would
It,
have liked that story better. Have him
mhm.
fall in love with Jonathan, not Mina, you
Forget
know?
I mean,
Dracula's Dracula's hubbies. You know what I mean? Give me that. Give me that.
the original novel is very homoerotic. If you
We
read it,
love that here.
at the end of the novel, the group of heroes, like the 5 men that have gathered to save
Thank
Mina, they all give her a blood transfusion. So they're all like bound to her for life. But it's like these guys coming together, this camaraderie to save a woman. She doesn't really play a huge part in this.
Mm-mm.
They're doing it all for Jonathan, which is.
But in the exchange of blood, that whole thing is always like sexual.
Yeah. Because in the 1800s, they didn't have blood transfusion. It was like an exchange of fluids, kind of like saliva or something else.
Hey, baby, you want to exchange fluids? That's nasty. Look at you.
Elle's very uncomfortable now.
Oh, I had like a really gross note at the end. She
Yeah.
got bit though. Shouldn't she get a stake to the heart? But I have a feeling she's gonna be getting a very old stake somewhere else.
Hey.
The way that he was touching her face was uncalled for. Like, why are you caressing her face? You're 100 years old and your fingers look like sausages. Get
He
out of
looked like
here.
Robert Redford.
I can't. And this is why I say acting is super awkward. I couldn't keep my shit together. I wouldn't have been able to keep my shit together. They would have fired me.
Why was Lucy's corpse shoeless or even sockless?
Because he likes to suck on dead toes.
Well, he bit her thigh, clearly. She's like, no, my dad will see this hickey. Do it on my thigh.
He said toes are my midnight snack.
Gross. Very
Whatever,
gross.
he's a weirdo. I do not put a foot fetish above Dracula.
I mean, if you live for like over 400 years, you're bound to.
You gotta spice
There's a,
things up.
there's a book series called Skullduggery Pleasant. That's a YA series about like wizards, but it's not like Harry Potter. And the writer was asked, is one of the characters queer? And he says, after 200 years of being alive, no one's straight anymore.
Especially not vampires. We know that.
No, vampires are
Mhm.
gay as fuck. That's why we love vampires.
Super gay.
They can't procreate, but they love to try.
Yeah, they like to practice.
This movie is at least an hour too long. Why would a vampire be jealous? Tanya's jealous of Mina. And see, this is coming over from watching fucking Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. Like, every woman is fucking jealous of other women. You're fucking undead. Why do you care? Why are you even around him anymore? You can walk the earth and like explore everything and read every book. You have so much time now. Why
Yeah,
do you
but that was
care?
actually the thing in The Invitation. I kept wanting to say The Uninvited. That's a different horror movie. Because there was a jealous, one of his wives was jealous too. And I'm just like, these bitches must have been shackled to the house. Like, he doesn't let them leave. Because if you make me undead and I'm going to live forever, you're going to have to find me next. Because I'm gone.
Right.
I'm gone.
And this bitch had a huge library. I'm not dealing with this old man. Fuck that.
Fuck you and your old man
No.
shenanigans.
You
No.
don't have a man bun. You don't have glasses. Like, you got nothing for me, bro. I'm not even turned on. You can't
You
even
don't
wash your
have-
face.
Nope, and you don't have a Jonathan Harker wig. So,
No,
bye.
get a Jonathan Harker wig. Play trumpet. Do something.
Then we'll talk. No, Jonathan Harker plays the theremin in this because it's
He also wrote the Doctor Who theme song.
yeah. Don't start me on Doctor Who because it's definitely something I will talk.
Of this
I will
movie.
give it one chud.
I give it half a chud. Both these movies get half chuds from me.
The only thing I liked in this was when the lieutenant shoots himself. Like it slows down so you see the bullet going through his lower
did
jaw
like
and
that.
up into his
Yeah.
But it's not enough. It's like a glitter.
I could
A
edit this
singular piece
down.
of glitter.
Into like a tight 15 minutes. It would be a great movie.
Like
Outta
a YouTube
here.
movie. Just a little blip. Like, oh, that was a good time.
Yep.
That was fine.
The
There was
mantis,
just-
the bullet, you know, maybe some titties.
Definitely keep the titties.
Maybe
and
not the
Tanya
sex scene.
screaming at the end. She was fantastic. Like, I
Mhm.
love those old horror movie screams. She was really good at it. I get that. This movie was bad.
It was so bad. It was fucking terrible. But we watched it and we never have to watch it again.
I shan't be doing that. I shan't be watching Ginger Dead Man vs. Evil Bong
Mm-mm.
either.
I have something else to say about this movie really quickly though. There is a scene where Mina's out in the woods and the wolves come and she just passes out. I don't think that's science. Because I
Yeah.
think that if we were to pass out every time we got scared of a wolf, we would not have ever evolved to being the top of the food chain. I think we would have died a long time ago. We would have been extinct.
That's not the first time she faints for the plot in this film either. Because she faints with the mantis as well. Dracula just picks her up and she's like, "What happened?"
Like, too much swooning. Bitch is not swoon worthy, okay?
No, that's why I made sure to keep them here to remind everybody this is the Dracula. That's why I made a TikTok about the one from The Invitation because I'm like, fuck this motherfucker thinking that he's everything. Who do you think you are? The way I would raise hell in your castle, like, get off me.
The main character in this film changes 3 times as well. Like it's Jonathan, then it's Mina, and then it's Van Helsing. Who the fuck is this film for?
It's for the streets.
For the trash
It's for old men who like to see other old men do old men things.
This is
with
all
titties.
I mean, if you had old men vision and you could tell old men apart, this might be a good movie. Maybe. I don't know.
the old guys can tell their friends apart, and then you can only sprinkle titty in a movie for old guys because then they'll have a stroke.
It's what the comedian Dara O'Brien refers to as something for the dads. It's why Doctor Who has a pretty young female companion. It's why there's weather girls, not weather men. Like, if I'm not turned
Gross.
on just a little bit, I can't be asked to pay attention. Not me,
I
old
know.
men.
No. I
Old
know.
men.
I know what you're saying. But I still am just like,
You don't like it.
couldn't imagine, bro.
Hey, you can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostandmagazine.site or on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
And you can find me at Nocturnical.
And you can follow me at J Rafferty Poet.
Okay, bye.